Hey guys, Kahare here. The Japanese side of the global Discord has been getting a lot of questions about Veda Tower lately, so I wanted to make a quick video just to sort of explain it so that you can know what may or may not be coming to global. Obviously, these are subject to change whenever they come to the global side. But supposedly, some data mining has suggested that the first 20 floors may become accessible sometime soon. Can't confirm that though. Veda Tower is 100 floors and starts off at a relatively gentle expected level of 20 and expected job level of 5. Um, by the time you get to floor 20, supposedly the end of the data mine, you are looking at level 50 jobs at the 7 and 8 job level range. And then you can see it very quickly goes up from there. Basically expecting pretty close to maxed out units when you get to the middle. Top floors, every 10 floors has a pretty swank piece of armor designed for each of the colors, various color shards, gems, orichalcum, gear tickets, equipment tickets, lots of different stuff. Big thing that you need to know about the tower, elemental resistances are pretty high, so you're going to want to hit the water units with the lightning attacks and so forth. Just kind of bump that up to 11 and realize that the elemental resistances focus very heavily on the later floors of Veda. The team I'm going to be using kind of circumvents that just because they're pretty maxed out. Pretty much everyone here is triple job masteried, and units have been buffed since these floors were created, so don't use my performance as an indication that like single job mastery level 70 units are going to be able to tackle this just as easily, because that will not be the case, and that will be a rude awakening. I'm just going to use playing through this floor as a chance to talk about some of the features of the tower. It happens a fair bit less in the earlier floors, but once you start getting into the later floors, you are going to see a lot of status effects. Death sentence, poison, paralysis, and so forth. So one of the very big important things that you need to look for in a team is what's called a veiler. In global, that basically means a professor or a chemist, somebody who's able to prevent status effects from even taking hold in the first place. Basically, Veda Tower is a time when you should be getting a professor or a professor-like job of every color, at the very least. Um, and so that's another big thing. Status plays a heavy effect. There's also just usually little tricks to some of the floors where you will need to, for example, hit one enemy to cause the other enemies to become vulnerable, or to kill an enemy to make the other enemies vulnerable. So, you may need to ask for specific tips on, like, how do I beat this floor, or that sort of thing, just because some of the floors are a little more tricky like that. They're a little more interestingly designed than some of the basic levels. This one seems to mostly be chronomancers who like to overclock each other, which means they're basically useless. So for this, that's the big thing to know. Elemental resistances and lots of status effects. And the other things that's sort of a very important aspect of climbing the tower, it shows up for like 2 or 3 weeks every month or two at relatively irregular intervals. And so just be prepared for that. And every time you enter the tower, your progress from the last time you entered will be saved. So if you were on floor 49 and the tower goes away and it comes back, you'll be on floor 49 again. So no worries about needing to charge through in a single run of the tower. It will be there exactly as you left it when it returns. The other thing is that every 24 hours you get the opportunity to fully heal all of your units, which is super important, because if your unit ends a phase down some HP or dead, they are down that HP or dead until you are able to revive them. Additionally, of note, petrification counts as dead. So do not leave units you want to continue forward with petrified. Uh, Also, just kind of goes back to the veiling and needing those answers to status effects, because they are a huge part of making sure you can continue to climb. If a unit ends petrified or not petrified, so basically paralyzed, poisoned, or so forth, they will be healed. You'll have the same hit points you left and the original starting gems, so you can't really like carry over gems to the next floor. So don't worry about that. They will have whatever their default starting gems is. So that's sort of floor. This one was relatively easy at my current player level and character level. It would probably be relatively difficult for even whales in the global community at this moment. But you can see there Aranea and Lucian have had a little bit of their hit points chipped off, while the other three are unscratched. You can see that little green button. That's the one I was talking about that will let you refresh all your units. I'm currently 100 out of 100. None of my units are dead, so it would be a pretty big waste of my free refresh, but you can use it, like I said, every 24 hours. At the higher floors, it gets very, very hard, and the final reward is a prismatic armor, which is pretty swell. Gives you a lot of nifty effects, and as you can see, lots of color shards and so forth in the rewards. Now, that's all well and good. These are for your first clear of a floor. When the very first time you clear that floor, you'll get 10 green shards. However, once you fully complete the tower, climbing to all 100 floors, you will be able to reset the tower for free at no cost of gems or anything else. And then after you do that, those rewards that you saw there with the color shards and stuff, they will not be there any longer, and they will be replaced with Veda coins. Now, Veda coins are these little kind of orange and green coins, and this shop refreshes every time the every time the tower comes. You'll usually see job equipment items for the Dragon Genesis units. There are usually 2 like full J plus sets of things, and just lots of little bits here and there to offer you some treats. After you clear the tower a second time, you'll need to pay gems to reset it, and the price, I believe, continually goes up. So regardless, that is kind of the Veda Tower primer. Hopefully it will help you figure out what you want to do when it shows up in Global. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope this was able to clear up your questions.